So, I went to a very traditional school where traditional yet actually quite experimental at my time, where even though we had a curriculum, we were not taught through books. And I see a very similar approach with and I felt that approach of not, having being taught through textbooks and being on ground, learning through experience and doing projects was what shaped that designer in me or honed my skills. So we're in the practice of designing hotels, and hotels have to be built as experiences. And we hold this vision or value true for ourselves, not just for hotels, but for every project that we build in. So when we say we build places that belong, we're talking about belonging to a culture, to a city, to its climate, and to its people. So the product that we build should feel like it belongs there. It should be built with local materials, pay homage to the craft of that city, be something that will do well in that environment, sit well amongst the geography and the context, and then also be open to the public, be engaging to them. So that's what we really mean. And we start our journey or a design process from understanding the city, from eating its local food, from experiencing the craft, and then imbibing aspects of it in an abstracted way into our design. So, when we get a project, we don't necessarily have a very focused brief on it. We are the ones who create that narrative or the brand DNA. So we come in very early in a project, we help create the vision for the project. And that's how I think we are the ones who create the brief rather than vice versa. For us, the brief that comes to us is more functional. It has to be these many rooms, or it has to have be for that many people, or that's the FAR, etc., etc. But it doesn't, or it could tell us a broad vision of whether it's for the millennials or it's supposed to cater to a certain demographic. So that is given to us. But the look and feel brief, or the context within which we have to build, or the window that we need to look at our project through, or the lens, is defined by us. So when we create the places that belong, that's exactly what we're trying to do, create that lens or that vision box. So I think designers are problem solvers, and they have to have a certain human aspect to them. So I feel good designers are people who are good human beings first, especially when you're building places. So you have to be able to be empathetic to what your guest or your client needs. So if you're building a public space, there'll be a lot of common people who would walk in. What will their experience be like? It's not just about how something photographs, it's actually about how something feels at various levels, right? Feels, what are you going to look at? How is it going to feel to your ears? How will the light filter in? So you have to be a sensitive human being when you're designing. And then of course you have to have creativity at various levels. And you have to be able to solve problems. So as architects, we are solving problems in layers. So how are you able to, without getting stressed, decode that complex problem, break it down into simpler problems and solve for each, is when you will become a great designer. So, I went to a very traditional school where traditional yet actually quite experimental at my time, where even though we had a curriculum, we were not taught through books. And I see a very similar approach with and I felt that approach of not having being taught through textbooks and being on ground, learning through experience and doing projects was what shaped that designer in me or honed my skills. I see that happen at and as well. I feel that the approach here is very experimental. There's this want to bring various genres under one umbrella so people can interact collectively. Collaboration is taught as an integral approach to design. So when people from different walks of design or different geographies collaborate, they can come up with something that's different to what one individual can think of. So I think they're focusing on that. And then online learning also enables people to tap into a course from anywhere and do things parallelly as well. So I think that's a great opportunity for youngsters today. which we didn't have at our time. And I just love the way they put out information. The graphic skills are amazing. It's very exciting to look at. Their messaging, the brand messaging is very bold and impactful. So I feel And's got a long way. They've achieved a lot and they'll go far, far ahead.